Now, an anti-racism group has hit out at what they call extremists who took part in a protest against asylum seekers being housed in a former hotel in Falkirk. Hundreds of people gathered outside the premises on Saturday, and police closed the road for several hours and arrested 2 men. Organisers of the protest said they want to protect their community and have no affiliation with the far-right protesters who joined the event. Well, our correspondent David Henderson joins us in the studio now. David, how did all of this come about?
Well, Sarah, the UK government has a policy of dealing with asylum seekers by dispersing them around the UK and in hotels and other accommodation. Some of them are in Scotland, one of them is in Falkirk, and to put it bluntly, some locals don't like it. They've been voicing their concerns, and we've also seen this issue become a political hot potato over recent years, and it certainly seemed that way on Saturday with that big protest in Falkirk from campaigners who say they do not want this asylum seekers hotel in town, and a big counter demonstration too from people who were voicing support for refugees.
We're local Falkirk residents. We're not a political organisation. We're parents, grandparents, workers, community members who have had enough of feeling ignored when it comes to the issues of safety, crime, transparency from Falkirk Council and other authorities. It isn't really about left or right politics. It's about local people standing up for the community in relation to many issues.
Extreme terms of abuse at lots of people on that. What I have to make out, that was done by a minority on that protest, not the majority. And I believe there's a minority, extreme right, have tagged themselves onto it, intervened on Saturday, made it 10 times worse.
And David, we've seen scenes similar to this in England. Is it becoming more common here?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, this is a relatively large protest by recent standards. The numbers swelled, of course, by the fact that there were 2 sides there. Only 2 arrests, but police are still investigating. Now, we've seen protests in Aberdeen in recent weeks, a similar situation, an asylum seekers hotel targeted by protesters. And it's clear from that this is a deeply divisive issue, even here in Scotland, a long way from the English Channel, which is the real focus of concern. And it's reasonable, I think, therefore, to expect asylum and immigration to be an important issue in Scotland over the next year, ahead of the Scottish elections, with the anti-immigration party Reform doing very well in the polls and campaigning hard on this issue.